Alright, hey everybody, One of Wisdom here. Saturday, August 31st, just wrapped up the Grilla Drilla Swap Force preview insert. This time, of course, we're moving on to a core character. This will be his first appearance, brand new one. It'll be Slobber Tooth. He hails from the Earth element. Slogan is going to be Clobber and Slobber. Of course, if you follow me along since the SSA day one, you probably have heard at some point Earth Element's my favorite. Slobber Tooth, initial first impressions, he kind of reminds me of a Bash, but after you see this little gameplay clip, he's kind of got a different element going on to him. We'll kind of cover that when we get there. But again, we do know the other Earth character. I can't really mention it. If you haven't seen it, just know you've got a good surprise coming. That said, his background story. Having been asleep for thousands of years, Slobbertooth was awakened by the fiery eruption of two volcanic islands crashing together. Again, I do this to kind of pace myself. If you want like the full text version for your own reference, take the link to the blog. I'll have everything up there. Immediately sought out by Chaos to become one of his minions, Slobbertooth was promised great power, but the gruff and headstrong fighter chose to follow his own path instead. So there we see Chaos keeping a watchful eye on all of Skylanders, trying to always recruit and upgrade his own army of minions, and we see personality trait of Slobbertooth. For this, Slobbertooth refusing him, Chaos attacked his ancient, petrified homeland. As the only one who could protect his hibernating race, Slobbertooth fought tooth and tail, nice play on words there, against Chaos and his minions, ultimately driving them away. For his heroism, Master Eon asked Slobbertooth to join the Skylanders where he could continue defending Skylands against the evil Chaos. Clearly that invitation was accepted. Slobbertooth is now one of the good guys at Skylander, basically sworn tooth and tail against Chaos, if you will. First thing we're going to take a look at is his official character art. You can see it here. Very impressive, looks quite menacing. You can see the elements of the tail. He's got the saber tooth, turtle, dinosaur thing going on, if you will. You get an action here. That looks to be a frozen Chompy, but he doesn't seem to be in. Maybe the background's a frozen level again. There's like what appears to be a giant fish skeleton there. Interesting screenshot. Nonetheless, this is what the actual figure is going to look like. In terms of just a core character, looks pretty dadgum good. Note the lack of crystals on the base, though. Curious if there might be some on the backside or not. Here's the gameplay. We've got the introduction coming up first. You can really see what Vicarious Visions did with the new graphics here. Note right there, he appears to be eating enemies. And then if you note, we saw the slobber, of course, there at the end. But right prior to that, in what looked to be like another graveyard type level or spooky one, his tail seemed to punch down on the ground, creating kind of like an iridescent glow. I'm assuming that would damage enemies or kind of like a shockwave type thing, but then it kind of charged the tail up, and it actually, turned into something more akin to like a Bash. What we saw with him eating enemies, it's not completely new. I mean, Wrecking Ball can do that, but I mean, he's actually going in there and just like, tearing them apart. Needless to say, like I said, that slobber there at the very end, and then coupled with those scenes you saw, you kind of get a feel for what Vicarious Visions did with the brand new graphics engine. So that's going to be, big exciting thing to see. But really, I am excited for him. I mean, just right now, it's convenient because his toy poses up. You can see, just based on this figure, the likeness to Bash with the tail and general structure of the character. Warnado with the shell, kind of got the dinosaur vibe going on, and then he's got kind of the saber-toothed tiger thing, if you will. Note that I also saw in that GameStop press release for the Dark Edition starter pack, he was referred to as Lockjaw in that. If you missed it, check out the blog. Again, that's one of those things I think a lot of people missed. You go for pictures, not necessarily information. But more than likely, Lockjaw is probably a name that stuck with him for a while, and ultimately it was probably deemed that Slobbertooth was, either A, more relatable, B, kid friendly, or C, would, move more figures, make it more approachable or something. Then of course adding the slobber in, that obviously is going to appeal to a younger audience. But interesting to note that due to that GameStop release for the Dark Edition starter pack, we actually saw Lockjaw, so that could be a telltale sign maybe of like a soul gem or a power, kind of like, the clamping force of an alligator pit bull type thing. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with him. Again, I'm excited to play him. I've yet to have an Earth Element character that has really disappointed me. I feel like they've all been very good, and that continues on with Giants, where we saw Flashwing and Crusher. Unique gameplay most of the time. It'll be interesting to see what other attacks he has. We know the tail, we know, the kind of clamping down of the jaw or eating enemies, whatever it may be. That leaves a couple more things: Wow Power, or I guess a Soul Gem, and a tertiary attack, and of course whatever happens in between there. But I'm excited to see him. Do know the other Earth character. I'm slightly more excited about that one. I don't want to mention it here. Again, if you missed out on all that stuff, it'll be released eventually, but just know that the Earth element is well taken care of here. That said, what are your thoughts on Slobber Tooth? Do you feel like he brings a unique element? Does he remind you of a Bash Mornado combination? What do you think his attacks will be or should be? Just anything you want to post about your thoughts on Slobber Tooth, feel free to do so either here on YouTube or the blog oneofwisdom.com. Again, if you want to see these pictures, save them for your avatar, read the story at your own pace without me going through it on the slides, feel free. Just head over, take that blog link at the top of the video description. That said, you can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, of course. Make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube. That way, when this new information leaks, you'll be one of the first to know. Similarly, make sure to check out the blog, oneofwisdom.com. Tons of information up there. Again, you can find all the standalone shots, videos, textual information, basically anything and everything you would probably ever wish to know about the Skylanders franchise is there somewhere. But again, I thank you for watching. We're going to come back in our final character. I do have some extra screenshots of some different swap combinations like Stink Shift, etc. I'll get those up, maybe not in a video form. I'm trying to focus on like the big emphasis on these 4 characters, and of course the last one, another brand new core Skylander, which is going to be Zulu. Very interesting there. You'll definitely want to check that out. But again, feel free to post up your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I will catch you later.